Anthony, at Christmas time, what do you prefer, giving gifts or receiving them?
That's a tough one. I think I'm supposed to say I prefer giving, but after all that shopping, the lines, the crowds, the post-holiday credit card bill, ugh.
What kind of holiday spirit is that, Scrooge? Speaking of which, we're about to take in a special performance of the classic tale, A Christmas Carol, at the National Arts Centre. Based on the book by Charles Dickens, the play tells the story of Scrooge and how he discovers holiday spirit. So pay attention, Anthony.
Okay, I get the message. The story has been adapted to include performers with disabilities in the cast. Ottawa presenter Shelby Travers and her guide dog Francis stopped by to get to know them.
Francis and I are at the National Arts Centre, surrounded by holiday gifts, and I'm wearing my favorite glittery Christmas sweater. And I'm excited to share my love of theater with you guys. We're going to check out A Christmas Carol, a holiday favorite that's shown every year to celebrate Christmas spirit.
Now on Scrooge's door there was a large knocker.
My name is Bruce Horak. I am one of the narrators here in A Christmas Carol, and I also play the ghost of Christmas Past.
And then let anyone explain to me how it happened that Scrooge,
It's been really, really great. You know, I've been visually impaired my entire life. And this is the first time that I've been welcomed in and said, hey, we have a visually impaired artist in the group, and it's just up front and people know it, and it's really empowering.
One could scarcely help fancying it must have run there.
I spoke to actor Jack Volpe through an ASL interpreter.
Bruce and I do share the narration role, so we switch back and forth for that piece. I'm also the ghost of Christmas Future, and I don't have any lines in that role. I'm hooded, I'm in a cloak, and I point things out to the character.
Scrooge lived in a gloomy suite of rooms, situated where it had little business to be.
I narrate through sign language. I have an actor who's using their voice. His name is Attila, and he voices my narration for the hearing audience that does not understand sign language.
A Christmas Carol director, Jillian Keiley, tells me how these two performers were an integral part of her adaptation of this classic.
I was at this conference about deaf and disability arts, and I met Bruce and Jack, and they were both speaking about how when they're in a rehearsal room or when they're in an experience where they're in a creative experience, they have to put together a lot of the details of what's happening in the room around them. I was very inspired by that idea that these two guys in particular who were speaking about it lived in this act of creation all the time. Everybody knows what happens to Scrooge.
So Jillian wanted to create a new experience for the audience.
And how we were asking them to do that was to kind of build the show in their own minds, using their memories of what the show is supposed to be, and that's what these little maquettes are.
As the audience enters the theater, they walk through a winter wonderland of white Christmas trees with miniature shoebox sets that represent classic imagery of A Christmas Carol. This primes the audience for the all-white stage with sparse set design.
Scrooge lived in a gloomy suite of rooms.
The end result is an interpretation of a holiday favorite that is inclusive for the audience and the performers, like Jack.
I felt like it was a really great collaboration. I felt very welcomed. You know, everybody wanted to know about accessibility. They were interested in it.
Not a knocker, but Marley's face.
This modern adaptation is a great way to mix things up. Like, would you ever thought a deaf person being cast in the role as a narrator?
No, and let's hope that this play is just the beginning and that we continue to see inclusive roles in mainstream theater.